Hi guys, this video is for my FIFO friends. Now there's a lot of problems in the FIFO industry and a lot of these problems have been going on for far too long. Yeah, some of the problems in the FIFO industry have been going on for decades, perhaps centuries. And I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day, a former SAS bloke who's gone back out to the mines, and he was sharing with me some stuff. And I wanted to shoot a quick video for you guys. Now, one of the biggest problems we see is FIFO people don't want to talk with psychologists, therapists, coaches, and I can't blame them. They're not really comfortable talking about their dilemmas with a psychologist that has no real world experience, but not all of them do. So I'm going to share with you some solutions, okay? So that maybe you can find better ones or solutions that you can start moving forward in your life without having to see those people you don't like. Okay, so firstly, if you think about it, if a FIFO worker is out in the scrub, fighting away the flies for 6 or 7, however many days full, and then comes back home, what do they want to do? Want to bloody rest, catch up on sleep, want to let stuff go away, or maybe zip up to Bali and let loose in another way. Either way, what we don't want to do is be in a friggin' Sykes shoebox office with a 50-minute timer by myself or with my wife offloading all her bloody diamonds. Who the hell would want that? So I don't blame a lot of FIFO workers for not wanting to see, shrinks and that kind of stuff. Now, the thing is, if we don't do something about the problem, we're going to end up on a downward slope. We're going to end up on a downward spiral. So typically when problems arise, they're going to arise through the body, and problems can be magnified by the body. If we are drinking too much or we don't have good diet, or good fresh food, we actually start to have problems in our gut, which relate to a low motivation. If we have problems with emotions and loved ones or too much stress, we have problems in our heart. So we do have a lot of issues, and if we don't talk about it and get solutions, this stuff builds and builds. Divorce, suicide, early death, early onsets of all kinds of problems. And I know, some people end up sharing that they're suicidal, and they might end up, kind of ostracized or even kicked out. A whole lot of problems can occur if we don't take action. So what kind of actions can we take? Well, I'm going to share with you a couple of options. One's going to be that talking with the psychs thing. It's not, I don't blame you for not wanting to talk to a psych. I remember coming back from the Middle East and being fronted up with a psych, and I was just like, get me the hell out of here. But not all psychs are like that. Some of the psychs are actually good. And one of the last psychs I worked with, he had coach training as well, so he was really good. Psychologists and therapists can focus on the past, but I like one that has a coach focus as well, and one that can be very proactive, right? So there are some psychologists in that we can connect to. I work in the coaching field more so than psychology. So I help people really focus on results and move forward. I've got coaches in places like Europe and USA. Now, the benefit of this is, well, firstly, you got to make sure those guys and anyone you work with is the real deal. But if a FIFO worker wants to go and see a psych or call a psych or actually talk about his problems, it might not be between 9 o'clock and 4 o'clock, Monday to Friday, on my few days off, right? So one solution is being able to call one on the telephone at hours that suit you. So if you know someone who's struggling and they don't want to see a psych, if you got like 6 days at work and then 6 days off, and you've got to wait till Tuesday to see the psych at bloody 2 o'clock, and at 2:50 or 3 p.m. you're going to kick you out of the office, that's not a lot of window to actually talk about it or to actually move things forward. Yet you work with a coach, one of my coaches, and you can call them at 6 o'clock in the morning. From your mindset, from your telephone or Zoom, you can get on the phone to them, right? So my little solution, connect with me and I'll open you up to a whole pile of things that will suit better for your schedule. Okay, secondly, one that will really help you move forward without seeing these kind of guys can be to create a better vision for yourself. we tend to lose a bit of hope if we're in a downward spiral. Now, if we're in a downward spiral and we're down here somewhere, we're not going to make a vision up here. We just want our vision to be above where we're at. There's a lot that goes into goal settings, and there's a lot of BS as well. A lot of goal setting says about like, aim for the world's best, you know, and then you get smart goals and smarter goals. But very basically, if you're down here, you want your goal to be above you. Wherever you're spiraling, if you're making your first million, maybe your goal's going to be 1.5 million. But if you're struggling down here to pay off the debts, maybe your goal will be to pay off the first debt. So your goal should be set relevant to you, and you shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people. You need to be comparing yourself, and here's a big thing for you. Compare yourself to how you performed last month. Don't compare yourself to the neighbors. So measuring your waist is a good example, but don't use the bloody tape measure, just use a belt, right? And use the same belt all the time, and you can make a notch on it and make another notch where your goal is. Yeah, so each month and each time you put on your belt, you're comparing yourself to last time. Yeah, maybe every time you go home, you check your bank accounts and you're checking your health, your financial health compared to last month. Okay, so we've got to create a better vision for ourselves, create some goals that are just above us. Yeah, we've got to work on retraining and reprogramming our brain to get this moving upwards. We've got to be moving into an upward cycle. Yeah, so to do that, we need goals around our physical health, our mental health. Our physical health, our mental health, probably third or fourth or fifth would be financial health. Maybe relationships and love would be more important. But if we don't get our physical health and our mental health in check, we're just going to keep spiraling down. So create a better vision for yourself, set some goals, start retraining and reprogramming your brain to go up. So with that, right, our third thing is we're doing personal development. Maybe listening to some podcasts, yeah? Or maybe listening to a program about health, maybe listening to a program about mental health, maybe listening to some guys talking about meditation and stuff. Meditation is the bomb. It can be really good. A lot of guys will sit in the dongas and watch documentaries. Great. But maybe it's just a matter of doing 10 minutes of meditation after shift. Yeah. Or maybe it's a matter of, a lot of people smoke, right? Smoking is kind of a great meditation if it calms down the brain. So smoking, terrible habit. But the thing is, it's like a mini meditation. So taking mini meditations, taking a few minutes throughout the day just to breathe. Now, if we keep doing that, we increase our mindfulness, we increase our awareness, we increase the ability to change our direction, get on an upward spiral. Okay, if you like that, I'm going to make a few little videos like this, and then I'll shoot a bigger video about the big divorce word, and maybe some about some addictions as well. Thank you. Let us know your thoughts. Have a great day, guys.